campaigning and actually governing. Well, some lawmakers and experts say the president's decision to close the detention facility at Guantanamo Bay is the wrong way to go. One of the strongest opponents of the president's decision is Michigan Congressman Peter Hoekstra, who joins us now from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Congressman, good to have you here on this Saturday. Thanks a lot for joining us. Why do you think this is a bad decision?
Well, Brian, you brought up a lot of the points in your introduction. There's a plan that says, or a objective that says we're going to close it in a year, but there's no plan behind it that actually answers the questions as to where these people are going to go, how they're going to be treated, where they're going to be tried. There's lots of people in America who are asking exactly the same question that you brought up. Are these people going to be ending up in my backyard sometime over the next 3, 6, or 9 months?
Now, much has been made this week about, well, this is the beginning of the dismantling of the Bush war on terror. Do you think that's accurate?
Well, I think we've got to step back and wait and see exactly what President Obama's strategy is going to be against the war on terror. I'm very concerned about what he's done with Gitmo. I'm concerned about what he's done with interrogations. In some ways, I see the initial steps of moving back to what we were doing in the 1990s, where we said this threat from terrorism, it's a law enforcement activity, and what we need to do is we need to be prepared to prosecute these individuals who attack the United States after they have attacked the United States. After I walked the streets of New York in the aftermath of 9/11 within the last week, those of us as policymakers went there and said, this is not good enough to prosecute these people. This is a different kind of threat that we face. We need to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure this never happens again. We need to move to prevention. That's what we've done for the last 7.5 years. We now need to determine whether President Obama is in the prosecution business, throw the lawyers at it, or whether he's going to continue recognizing this as a threat that requires the actions of a military.
What do you read into the fact that we are still taking, apparently, according to published reports, I know you can't talk about some of the things you know, but the published reports are that the CIA drones are still flying over the edge of Afghanistan, firing missiles into Pakistan and taking out terrorism targets. Does that indicate that they're still serious about going after some of these targets?
I think we haven't gone through the briefings and all of those kinds of things, but in terms of what the new President Obama strategy is going to be in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, but you bring up a very important point. We do need to know that as we surge troops into Afghanistan, the mere fact that there's going to be more troops there, that's not important. The real measure of whether this surge into Afghanistan will be successful or not is what will be the rules of engagement for our troops both in Afghanistan and in Pakistan, and how will we go after the Taliban and al-Qaeda in these areas as well as other parts of the world. President Obama and his new national security team, they haven't laid that out yet, and that's one of the things, again, that we're going to have to take a look at in the coming weeks and in the coming months.
And it would seem that those that are celebrating right now about this dismantling of the Bush war on terror would be well to remember we haven't been attacked in 7 years.
That's exactly right, and this is all about, what's the end goal and the end objective? Is it that more of the rest of the world likes us, or is it that we are respected and feared by the terrorists? So, yeah, thanks.
Pete Hoekstra, it's good to have you. Thank you, Congressman. Good to have you join us here on America's News Headquarters.